So, as you probably learnt by this point, my sister's not what you would call well behaved, and never was as a young child. So this one happened a lot more recently, but this type of stroppiness is very rare for my sister. So, this was, I'm gonna say, probably about last week. It was last week. Anyway, so I was at my acting school, and I was being picked up by my dad, who had my sister in the back seat of the car. Anyway, actually no, she was in the front seat. Anyway, so we were driving home, and my dad thought it would be a good idea to stop off at the shops and buy some stuff, because we were running low on food, so we needed to go on a quick little shop. So my dad said he was just going to pop in the shop for maybe 1 or 2 minutes, just get what he needs and come back. My sister started crying on the fact that she cannot come in the shop. So my dad, being the good dad he was, let her in anyway, even though she would have made the trip a lot longer. And yes, he was right, she did make the trip a lot longer, and she made my dinner a lot later, which I do not respect. Anyway, so when she was in the shop, we were just getting everything we wanted to get. We were just getting some snacks and some apples and God knows what. We weren't getting too much. Then me and my sister spotted a donut. One donut. One sprinkled, delicious looking donut. Looked so nice. Anyway, so yeah, the donut looked very nice. And we both wanted it. But there was only one donut there. So my sister Aimee started crying. I didn't really do anything. But then my dad noticed a tub of little small donuts. Probably about 10 in there. And he decided to buy that instead. My sister started crying and requesting she wanted to hold them. We didn't really want to let her, but we did let her anyway because we kind of trusted her. But trusting her was a mistake, okay? She then started trying to bite the container and start licking it and everything. This made me angry like hell. And as I said in my last story, I'm a bit of a strict parent, so I was a bit mad, especially because I had had a long day. So I just started shouting like, "Don't lick the wrapping!" Like, the first time I was a bit more calm with her. Second time, furious. It goes up really quickly. Anyway, so she said okay, but then continued. So we snatched the donuts off of her and put them back in the shopping basket. She then started screaming so loud that everyone could hear, and we refused to give it back for a few minutes. And then we did give it back because she was behaving, and we said, "Don't bite it this time." And you know what the first thing she did was? She licked it all the way across the top and then started biting it. This made me so angry. I grabbed it off of her, I put it back in the basket, and I had to literally carry her out to the car. And I remember I walked past a lot of people, including a staff member, who all gave me weird looks. I did explain to a staff member what happened. She obviously believed me. I explained very briefly though. It didn't take me 3 minutes and 25 seconds to say. It took me about 20 seconds. But anyway, so then it was probably a car park that would have taken otherwise about 20-30 seconds to walk across to get to the car. It took us almost 2 or 3 minutes to get to the car. This just was so mad. I felt bad though. I felt as if people were going to think I was a bad parent and stuff, which I'm not. I was just basically doing my job, I guess. I was doing what I was meant to do, let's put it that way. So, when I got her to the car, she started crying and screaming more like, "No, I want to go back to Daddy," and started talking in a really loud, angry voice, and I was like, "No." So I opened the car door and I sat her in the car, and she was like, "No!" and started screaming so much that she actually was sick a little bit. I obviously got her out of the car and let her be sick a bit. And I said, that's because you were crying so much. Get back in the car. And she got in there and she was like, "No," and started like banging on the windows and stuff and was like, "No!" Of course I hadn't even shut the door yet. So I was like, "Right, I'm gonna shut the door now in a sec." And she was like, "No, don't shut the door." I shut the door. And then obviously I got in straight away after. I'm not just gonna leave her in there by herself. I got in as soon as I shut the door. Like, I shut the door and then I opened the other door and got myself in the back. But then she was screaming. She was banging on the front bit, I don't know what you'd want to call it, shelf I guess, and started screaming, "Daddy, help me!" And I was just like, we're not trapped in this car, you're just being a strop. and she was screaming, and I was like, do you want music on? She then looked at me and said, yes, in a crying voice. And I was like, okay, then be quiet then. And I put on music. It wasn't her choice of music, but I put it on anyway, because it was what we were listening to before. And she then was a bit more calm, but as soon as my dad got back in the car, about 2 minutes later, she was screaming even more. I was just like, I can't deal with this, why are you still screaming and crying? And the whole journey back, she was screaming and crying, and my dad even told her as a joke that he put the donuts back because of her behaviour, which of course he hadn't. But then after that, we all ate one of the mini donuts, but wouldn't give my sister one. We gave her one the next day, but we wouldn't give her any. To be honest, they weren't even very nice donuts. So, I don't know why she was fussing about them, they weren't even that nice. Anyway, I know it was a long story, but that was just how it was. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.